So now that you're here, I
Sure.
think that I'll just go
Absolutely.
dive deeper into the skilled worker
Sure.
visa.
Yes.
What is the update?
The most important thing is you need a certificate of sponsorship, and the certificate of sponsorship should be assigned correctly.
The English requirement going from B1 to B2, what does it equate to in points?
How will you fund this salary, the proposed worker? So how can you afford this? You need to
bank
justify.
statement?
Exactly.
Okay.
A lot of employer, they request a cost, but they have a balance of 500,000, 1,500, and I've seen so many refusals where Home Office say, we believe you cannot afford this salary. Your employer should request, if your visa is expiring, your employer should put a request at least 3 months before.
Okay.
And then, because by the time,
Yeah, like when you were talking about the rejections, you mentioned that the rejections are based on whether the employer can afford a employee because they didn't have
Correct.
enough funds in their bank. Apart from there, what are the other things where the people get rejected? So anything to do with the current bookkeeping as well? Does it affect a company? When not bookkeeping, I'm not. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Hatman, and as we promised earlier, we are here back with another important topic. This is both for the employees and employers as far as the skilled worker visa is concerned. So we'll be talking everything length and breadth about this visa. So anyone who's joining new, I'll give you a quick introduction about Mr. Badri Bala Venkateshan. He's a senior immigration lawyer, and he has done IAA, level 3 in ILRA, which means that he can go and represent you in any court or for any immigration related cases. So he has around 6,000 plus happy customers, clients, and it's still going and positive. He's helped a lot of our subscribers and a lot of students and skilled workers. And if you're going to contact him, the first consultation, a basic consultation, will be free of cost for all our viewers, so you feel free to call them.
Sure.
And now coming to his company, this time I didn't forget. It's called Universal Fortune Limited, www.ufvisas.com. So, Vanakkam and Namaste, Badriji.
Yes.
So now that you're here, I think that I'll just go dive deeper into the skilled worker visa.
Yes.
So what is the update?
Sure. So before we go, I want to just clarify. So you said IAA level 3, we are regulated by IAA level 3, and we are, I can represent anyone for their immigration cases in FIT and UT for the immigration tribunal, immigration cases only.
Okay,
fine. And coming to skilled worker. Yes. So let's go through what are the requirement for a skilled worker, and what are the changes Home Office has made recently, and what is the process to get a COS or DCOS, and certificate of sponsorship. And the defined certificate of sponsorship, which is for people
outside the country.
Exactly, outside the country. And finally, what is the process of getting sponsorship license, and who can get sponsorship license, and that's all we are going to discuss. So now the first thing is, for someone to get a skilled worker visa, they need a certificate of sponsorship, and they need to meet a English language requirement which has gone from B1 to B2. Okay. And if they are applying from abroad, they either should have a maintenance certified by their employer, or they should have enough maintenance fund for 28 days. And if they are applying from abroad, they should have a valid TB certificate from Home Office recognized TB centers. And only for certain jobs, roles, you need to have a PCC, police clearance certificate. Okay. These are the basic requirements. Now, the most important thing is you need a certificate of sponsorship, and the certificate of sponsorship should be assigned correctly. most important
Before
thing
you go there, sometimes I just want to stop you there because I
No
forget to ask you questions. Now, the English requirement going from B1 to B2, what does it equate to in points?
5.5 ILTS in all category, each and every category.
So what was B1 before?
B1 is 4.0.
Okay, so that's
In all
from
category.
4.0 to now it's gone to
5.5 in each category.
Each category, okay, fine.
Okay.
And this is required for any job they're applying?
Anyone, but this does not apply for anyone who is going for extension.
Okay.
It's only for fresh application. Extension, they are still allowing the transitional arrangement. If you got your visa before January, when they implemented, for you it will be still B1.
Okay, fine. That's
so you do not need to worry.
Okay.
Okay. Now, getting the certificate of sponsorship is the most important thing, and Home Office has made this process very difficult. These days, when an employer requests a certificate of sponsorship, Home Office asks quite a lot of information. So those information I'm going to go through in detail.
Fine.
So this will help the employer as well as employee as well. So these days, when an employer requests a COS even for extension or new course, out of 10, 80% of them, they request this additional information, and only based on this additional information and evidence, they decide whether they can grant a certificate of sponsorship or not.
Okay, to the employer.
To the employer.
Okay.
Only when the employer gets the COS, he can assign to the employee.
Yeah.
He or she can assign to the employee.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing, when you request a COS, you put relevant information for whom you need, what salary you're going to pay, and then Home Office would send anything between 13 to 16 questions, and they would ask certain documents. That's what we are going to go through it now one by one.
Yeah.
So first question, they ask why specifically your business needs to recruit an additional migrant worker for this role. It doesn't matter whether this is for
inside or outside.
Inside or outside or extension or new, they do ask this question, or most of these questions.
Fine.
Second question, a detailed description. So you need to explain why the business needs to recruit additional, because the business is expanding, or your sales have increased, or you're opening additional branch. You could name it. Just I'm giving an example. The next question, a detailed description of the post you intend to assign the course for. If there are multiple SOC codes, you must provide separate response for each and state how many of each occupation you require. And they ask for what is the SOC code, what is the job title, what are the job description, and if the above specific role requires any formal experience or qualification, what are they? What is the salary you're going to pay, and number of hours per week. This is the most important thing. A lot of people, they give the going rate salary and they put 37.5. They put 40 hours or 45, but the going rate is designed for 37.5. So they need to work according to that hourly basis, and they have to calculate the salary. Otherwise, your visa application can be refused.
Oh, okay.
So this is another mistake where employer does this. So it's for them to look into it. And the next question is the address of the role where they will be working, and details of the skills, experience, and qualification required. This comes under SOC code and detailed description of the salary. Then the next question, evidence in relation what the role will involve for each person. For example, this could be but not limited which service user they would be assigned to. For instance, if they're going to work at the client place or whatever it is, they will be asking about those things.
Okay.
Then evidence why the above role cannot be fulfilled by your current workforce.
Okay.
You need to provide justification why cannot be done. Then the details of the company's hierarchy organization chart you need to provide. Then the details of any candidate you have selected. This is very important. Without this, if you request a course, they do not grant it.
Okay.
So you need to provide the migrant's name, date of birth, nationality, and current immigration status if he is inside the UK. Okay. Then the next question goes, if the worker is currently working for you, please provide their last 3 months pay slips. Okay. Then if you are yet to identify the migrant worker and you wish to highlight one of them, so they ask whether the intended hire migrant will be from within the UK who have valid leave to remain, or intended hire will be a migrant from outside the UK who do not have valid leave to enter. They ask this. And then your company website address. If there isn't one, you need to provide explanation why your company doesn't have a website.
Okay.
Then how do you advertise your business? How do your customers finds you? You need to provide this. And goes the next question. How will you fund this salary, the proposed worker? So how can you afford this? You need to
bank
justify.
statement?
Exactly.
Okay.
So the next question, you're absolutely right. They're asking for the last 6-month bank statements.
Okay.
A lot of employer, they request a cost, but they have a balance of 500,000, 1,500, and I've seen so many refusals where Home Office say, we believe you cannot afford this salary, so we are refusing it. So your business should have a healthy trading and healthy balance, profit.
Okay.
Only then Home Office would grant you COS.
Okay.
These are the new things they are looking into it. And then how the salary will be paid to the migrant workers, and copies of all the existing migrant workers employment contract, and if they are in the if they are migrant worker, their SOC code. Then
so for the existing migrant
migrant, if they
so
are
who are already
employed,
working there.
correct,
Okay.
who are migrant workers.
Okay.
And evidence of the genuine need of this vacancy and explanation how this specific role has arisen. So A, they are asking evidence of additional contracts. B, evidence of expansion. C, they are asking evidence of opening new branch, provide the lease agreement of the branch. D, evidence that employee within the organization, within the role, has left your company.
Okay.
Then E, where evidence employee have left your employment, please provide evidence of them need to replace.
Okay.
Why you want to. So you need to provide all this evidence, and then Home Office will make a decision. They can also ask 6 months RTI. For other companies, I've seen 6 months pay slips of all the staffs. So based on that,
6 months RTA, what does it mean?
Real-time information, what they declare to the HMRC.
Okay.
Every employer has to declare on monthly basis to the HMRC of about their employees, what they are earning, what are the taxes, those information you need to provide. So once you provide, you get the COS. So it's very important that your employer goes through all these documents and prepare themselves well before, at least 6 months before. I always tell my clients, if they ask when they want to, you should prepare to apply for your certificate of sponsorship at least 3 months before.
Okay.
Start requesting. Your employer should request if your visa is expiring. Your employer should put a request at least 3 months before.
Okay.
And then, because by the time you get a certificate of sponsorship, it takes longer. The reason being, if you are going in a standard process, it takes 16 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
If you're going in fast track, you need to fill a priority form and pay £350, and you will get in 5 working days.
Okay.
Subject to you, if they ask these questions and
You've answered everything,
you answered
right?
everything, and from that time they grant.
Okay.
So it takes quite a lot of time. So it's a general advisory that the employer should start preparing at least 3 months before. Okay.
So one question here, like when you were talking about the rejections, you mentioned that the rejections are based on whether the employer can afford a employee because they didn't have enough funds in their bank. Apart from there, what are the other things where the people get rejections?
Yeah, if the salary is not paid in bank transfer, if they come to know that the migrant workers, they are paying as cash, it's not there, and if RTA, the taxes not been declared as per their earnings, it can be refused. And if the vacancy is not genuine and there is no need for it, and it can be rejected.
So anything to do with the current bookkeeping as well, does it affect a company? When not bookkeeping, I'm not using the right
maybe
term.
If the company is not in the profit, you mean?
No, the company is not putting all the documentation right. When they talk
the
about
documents.
The employers and employees who are working here, what their current scenario is, how many holidays they've taken, all this counts? Or
No, that's a different one. That's a different one. There's a HR system.
That's a
different one.
So HR system doesn't play a role
exactly.
here.
No. HR, that is, of course, you need to have a robust HR system if you are an employer having a skilled worker sponsorship license or any sponsorship license. You must have a robust HR system. That's a different topic. We will also cover that.
But I think that the derivative from there comes into these documentation.
Correct.
Okay. When you have that right, then
this
it's
will
easy
be
to
fine.
provide that.
You are absolutely right.
Okay,
you are absolutely right.
All right. Okay. Fine.
So this is the requirement for COS. Now, after the certificate of sponsorship, it doesn't guarantee you to that you will get a visa, because these days Home Office started doing interview. So you need to make a proper representation of your skilled worker visa application. Otherwise, if Home Office finds the position is not genuine, or they want to find out more information, if they identify the application as complex, so they will invite for an interview. And you need to, the interview can last long, anything between 20 minutes to 90 minutes. So you need to clear the interview in order to get the visa successfully.
When you say that you need to clear the interview, would that be the employer or the employee?
No. It's one employee.
Employee. So when an employee comes in, so they will ask
Correct.
required questions to them.
Required questions to them. So they have to give correctly. They will be checking the genuineness of the applicant, whether they have the relevant experience, skills. They will be checking. They'll be asking technical questions.
Technical questions, yeah.
They have to do it.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
So this is what about current process, where Home Office have made it more stricter.
Okay.
So the employer as well as an employee, they should be prepared well ahead, and they should be making a proper application. And of course, we can help them. Again, this should not be considered as an immigration advice. Disclaimer: this is purely for information purpose only. For immigration advice, you need to sit with the qualified immigration lawyer consultant regulated by IAA or SRA. Okay. Now, the next topic, we will put it as a separate video for how to get a sponsor license.
Yeah.
And who can, which positions can be filled now.
Yeah.
And what are the requirements.
Okay, so sponsor license, this is going to be a separate topic. So we'll be covering a sponsor license topic separately in an episode, which will be the next episode. We'll see you after a break. Thank you.